Hey guys, I'm back. This is the first video I'm doing that's not a reading wrap-up, so I'm proud of myself for doing something different. I'm going to be doing the mid-year book Freakout tag. Very late, though. Very late. It's August, or no, it's September now, actually. And obviously that's not halfway through the year. I should have done this in June, but I saw that Jake Edwards did it late too, so I was like, if he can do it, I can do it too, even though mine is way later than his. We're just going to go with it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm so bad at intros, so we're just gonna go. So, the best book I've read so far this year is Sinners Consumed by Some Sketcher. I don't know how to say her name, but this is the third book in the Sinners Anonymous series and the second book in Rafe and Penny's duet. This is a mafia romance. It's age gap, enemies to lovers, workplace romance, basically all my favorite things, and it's so good. The banter, guys, unmatched. It's so good, and I'm obsessed with the characters and the smut. Stop. It is too good. This was amazing. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It was so good. Read it if you like mafia romances. Best sequel I've read so far this year. If I were to answer truthfully, my answer would once again be Sinners Consumed, but I'm trying not to repeat answers because that would be boring and repetitive. So, my second favorite sequel was Catching Fire by Susan Collins. This is the sequel to The Hunger Games, and in my opinion, it's the best book in the trilogy by far. Like, I love the new character additions, especially Finnick. He was introduced in this one, and I just felt like everything was better in this book. The arena was cooler, it was a cooler concept, the contestants were better, the writing improved, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. So, new release you haven't read yet but want to. Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. My entire Instagram explore page is ACOTAR and Fourth Wing, so I feel like I have to read this, or I'm gonna lose my mind, not knowing what everyone's talking about. Currently have it on hold at the library. The rating alone makes me want to read it. Not even just like the popularity, but like the rating. I've never seen a book with a rating so high that has so many reads. It's actually crazy. Like, the book has to be good with a rating like that. And I know it's like dragons and enemies to lovers, so I'm like, I think I'll like it. Like, those, I love both those things. And I think it's set at a boarding school, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I've tried to like not learn too much about it because I want to be like surprised going in, because I just feel like books are better that way. But I don't know. For some reason, I feel like it's set at a boarding school, and I love that setting. So yeah. My most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Okay, I had to pause the video for a second, so I don't even remember where I ended off, but I'm just gonna start over on this slide. I think that's where it was. Okay, so the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Yeah, I cheated on this one and used two, and that's gonna be a pattern after this. After this page, I decided I was just gonna use two if I wanted to, or more. But and honestly, you guys should count yourself lucky because I was tempted to use four. There's so many things I'm anticipating. So the first one I wrote is Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score, which actually comes out today. I haven't gotten my hands on it yet, but I'm so excited. It's the third book in the Nakamal series, and I really enjoyed the first two, and I feel like this one has the potential to be my favorite because it's enemies to lovers and second chance, which are two of my favorite tropes. And then I'm also really excited for The Way I Am Now by Amber Smith. It's the sequel to The Way I Used to Be, which is one of my favorite books ever. But I'm honestly scared. I'm honestly scared for this one because if I don't like it, I'm worried it's gonna change how I feel about The Way I Used to Be, and the book means so much to me, and I don't want that to happen. But I'm also really excited because I feel like it's gonna be good. I really hope so, at least. And it's so satisfying that these are both purple. Okay. Biggest disappointment. Oh gosh, I'm so negative. Why for the good categories I put like one, maybe two things, but when the negative category comes up, I put five. I just have so much to say, I guess. I don't know. So my first one is Falling for Declan by Tracy Lorraine. Notice how that picture is the biggest. That is not accidental. It was the biggest disappointment. So it's the biggest picture. Like, I thought I'd like it because it's enemies to lovers, and that's my favorite trope, and I've heard good things about the author, but I did not enjoy it at all. It ended up being my only 1 star of the year. So, yeah, really disappointed by that one. Like, when I was thinking about how to review this book, I struggled to find one positive thing to say about it, and usually I can do that for every book I read. But the hero was just so gross, and he like overshadowed the rest of the book with how gross he was and how disgusting he spoke about women. And like, it's supposed to be a romance, but there was nothing romantic about the way he thought of and spoke of women. So yeah, yeah, and then I was also kind of disappointed by not by, he, wait, yeah, Hero by Samantha Young. Like, because it was nominated for Goodreads Choice Awards, and those are usually good. I usually like reading the books on that list, but I did not like this. It was a 2-star. Couldn't connect with the characters, and it just felt really repetitive. And it included one of my least favorite tropes, which is the man thinking he doesn't deserve the heroine, so he pushes her away. It's just so annoying. And you know what's gonna happen at the end. You know he's gonna eventually become good enough for her. So it was just, I don't know. I hate that trope. And then Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. This is super hyped up. Like, I feel like everyone likes it and thinks it's super cute. But to me, it was just so boring. I didn't like the mystery. The romance was nothing special. It was like insta love, and that's lame. I originally rated it a 3, but then I changed it to a 2 because every time I think about this book, I get annoyed that I wasted my time reading it. So, yeah, I downgraded it. And then Reveal Me by Tehera Mafi. This is Kenji's novella. And Kenji just felt so out of character in here. Like, he was way more angry than usual. And, like, he gave up on Nazira because they're too different. That might be a spoiler. I don't know if I should have said that, but I'm just going to continue because it's not even like a big spoiler, really. If you don't want to know more, skip. So he gave up on Nazir because they're too different, his words not mine, even though he'd been going on and on about wanting a girlfriend for so long, and it just felt so out of character for him to, like, give up on the girl he's supposedly crazy about that easily. Like, it was just, like, are you serious? I don't know. I was super disappointed. And I just feel like his character was so different from the one we'd come to know. And he was just being super petty, like, ignoring Nazir and stuff. I don't know. I just did not like this. And he also calls her mean at one point, even though Nazir is literally not mean. Not really. I don't know. I didn't like the way he was treating her, and I didn't think it was justified. And yeah, I was disappointed in my guy Kenji. Usually I like him, but he was just not it in this one. And then, okay, A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I was going back and forth on whether or not I should include this because I didn't actually dislike the book, like the other books here. I gave this 4 stars. Like, it was good. I liked it. I really enjoyed it, but I thought it'd be better because it's so hyped up. Like, I went into this thinking it'd be my favorite fantasy book ever, and it wasn't. It not even close. It dragged out at a lot of points, I think. But yeah, that was literally my only critique, basically. I think I have some more, but they're like nitpicky. But I still don't think it's a bad book. Like I said, I did like it. It just wasn't as good as I was expecting it to be with all the hype. So I was a little disappointed, but it was still good. So, okay, biggest surprise. Room by Emma Donoghue. Like, because romance is my genre. Like, if there's no romance, I probably won't like the book. And this is not a romance. This is about a woman who was kidnapped and left in this one room for years, hence the title, Room. And her captor rapes her and she gets pregnant, and then the book is in the point of view of the child, and she's trying to raise him in this room without other people and stuff. It's very interesting. It's an amazing book. I was so invested in the story and the characters' recoveries. It was really, really good and really well written and interesting. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. So, and then another one was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The blurb of this sounded so boring, but I ended up loving it so much. It ended up being one of my top reads of the year. It was so good and so well written, and I'm so invested in Evelyn's story. And I think about this book constantly. So, yeah. Favorite new author? If we're talking about writing alone, I think Stephanie Garber. Her writing is so beautiful, especially in Caraval. Like, the way she describes things is so magical and lyrical, and I just love it. But for the stories, like the books, I think Emily Henry would be my favorite author because, like, I don't know, like, she writes romances, but her books are so much more than that. Like, there's so much depth, and I love romances with a deeper message, and she always does that. And I just love it. I've read 2 books by her, and both of them ended up going on my favorites list. So, okay, new fictional crush. Okay, no one will ever beat Christian Alistair for me from the Maddest Obsession, but this guy does come close. Charlie Lastra, he's my dream man. He's from Book Lovers, by the way. Not Sinner's Contempt. He is literally my dream man. He's so perfect, so patient, so loving. His wit, I love him so much. Guys, I can't even explain how much I love him. I'm trying to put it into words and I can't. He's so perfect, and I love him. And then also Penelope Price from Sinners Condemned by Somei Sketcher. I'm straight, but Penelope Penelope Rice had me feeling some type of way. Like, she's such a baddie. She's stubborn and witty and hot, and I'm just obsessed with her. And for any of you come at me and saying, like, you said no repeats, yada yada. No, I didn't. I didn't cheat, okay? Because I talked about the second book in Rafe and Penny's duet at first, earlier in this video, and this time I'm talking about the first book. So I cheated a little bit, maybe, but there was no repeats because it's the first book and I talked about the second book. So, a little loophole. But yeah, I just had to talk about Penelope Price because I love her. New favorite character. Okay, now I am cheating because these are both repeats, but okay, Evelyn Hugo is my favorite woman character from this year, and Charlie Lester is my favorite man. I know I said no repeats, but they were my two favorites from this year, and putting other characters in this section just did not feel right in my soul. They deserve this spot for being so perfect. Okay, a book that made you cry. Allegiant by Veronica Roth. Cry is too tame a word for what this book did to me. I was sobbing uncontrollably. The ending, if you know, you know. I can't say without spoiling, but it ripped my heart out. I was crying so much. I've never cried so hard over a book. It was devastating. A book that made you happy. The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. It was just really cute and wholesome and light. I just loved it. It was so cute and fun. And I loved it. It made me happy. Okay, most beautiful book you bought this year. Okay, 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott. Okay, I don't know why it took me so long to read her name, but yeah, this book cover is so pretty. I don't know who did the cover, but it's stunning. It looks even better in person, and I also don't have the sticker on my cover, so makes it even better. I feel like the sticker takes away from it, and my book doesn't have the sticker, so I'm very happy about that. And then also the fine print by Lauren Asher. The cover is so pretty. I'm in love with it. I love like stencily stuff like this, and I love like in the middle how it like changes. Like, you know what I mean? It's like more pencily, less detailed, and I just think it's so cool. And I love the colors. I love the castle. I love castles. I love this so much. I love the cover. I'm obsessed with it. Okay, which books do you need to read by the end of the year? I have so many. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Yeah. I've been wanting to read this for a while, and the thing about it is I also have to read Shadow and Bone because that comes first, I think. And I know you don't have to, but I want to just because I don't know. It's just gonna bug me if I don't read it. So I'm gonna read both. So that's like 5 books that I have to read right there. And then I also want to read the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy by Stephanie Garber because I met Jax in the Caraval trilogy and I liked him and I want to read his story. And I've heard a lot of good things about it. So that's another 3. That's like 8 now. And then Hush Hush, because I own 3 of the books, so I feel like I have to start reading them. They're just collecting my dust on my bookshelf, and like, what am I doing? Start reading them already. So that I think that's 4 books. I don't have one of them, but still, I can just get it at the library. Okay, so 4 plus 8, 12. And then the Inheritance games. I've heard it's mostly for the covers. Honestly, the covers are stunning. Every time I see them at the bookstore, I'm like in awe. They're so pretty. So I think that's 3 books. No, 4, because I think the Brothers Hawthorne came out now. So that's 16. And then Will They or Won't They? That's a standalone. Okay, so 17 books that for sure I want to read by the end of the year. This book, I don't even know what it's about really. It just looks so cute. I love pink, and the cover's pink. And I think it's like enemies to lovers, fake dating in Hollywood or something, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know, but I want to read it. It's just calling to me for whatever reason, and I'm gonna read it soon. So that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.